Hello, this is a continuation of my epilepsy coaching video series. I hope that it has helped those of you watching it and those of you about to watch it so far. And if there's any questions, anything you run across that sounds confusing or that could use more information, just let me know and I will be happy to cover that as soon as I can. And in this video, I'm going to cover triggers. What causes a seizure? What should you try to avoid? Things of that nature. To get started, I will go over a list of the triggers and I will basically let you know what is out there for common triggers, and I will post a link below as well so you can look over the link, including for any triggers that might be rare for some people and might be like a little unknown that I might not even know of, because I know there are triggers out there that are rare that some epilepsy patients have and some might not have. To get started with the list, I will start with flashing lights and strobe lights. The strobe lights can definitely cause a seizure for a lot of epilepsy patients, so you want to be careful of those and try to avoid those in any situation as much as possible. And another trigger is sleep. That is pretty common for a lot of people. You want to get 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night as much as possible if you can help that. I know that's not easy, but you want to try to as much as possible. And medication, you want to make sure that you try not to miss a dose. Try not to take your dose late. It does affect the epilepsy even if you just take your dosage like 3 hours later than normal. So be aware of that. And it can also trigger a seizure if you do spins and make yourself dizzy. That can trigger a seizure for some people. It might not trigger a seizure for everybody. Caffeine and sugar can trigger a seizure for some people. Again, maybe not everybody. And alcohol can definitely trigger a seizure if you have too much of it, or if you have it on a day where you're not feeling too good and you're very tired, because it stops the working process of your medication. Stress is very, very bad for seizures and actually all health conditions, believe it or not. So you want to try to keep your stress levels low and don't accept more than you can handle if you can help it. And scents can cause a seizure for some people, but not everybody. Basically, like sometimes clones, perfumes, that might cause a seizure for some people. Shocks, like sudden things that are pretty sudden to your body, might cause a seizure. For instance, being out in 90 degree weather and then jumping in a pool that's still only like not totally warm, pretty cold. That would be a shock to your body and that can cause a seizure. So be aware of situations when you're going into something that's, pretty sudden, and when you're gonna just have a big change. Heat can also cause a seizure because because of the fact it makes your body heat up and sweat, and it's just a sudden temperature change to your body. Fevers are a very, very common trigger. Even people without epilepsy get a seizure if the fever is very, very high. So people with epilepsy, their seizures are more sensitive. Even a minor fever can cause somebody a seizure if they have epilepsy. So those are the main triggers that I can think of that I'm familiar with, and the ones that you want to be very, very careful with. Definitely also do not stack triggers up on top of each other. You want to be careful with that as well. For instance, if you didn't get enough sleep that day and you're kind of feeling a little stressed out, don't drink alcohol on top of it. That is a very bad decision. If you feel like you're kind of getting a fever and whatnot, don't go out and get yourself stressed. So do your best to definitely not stack triggers on one on top of the other, because then you got a high chance of getting a seizure if you stack the triggers on top of each other. And whenever you can, try to avoid the triggers. I know sometimes life gets to us all, it's not always easy, but in some cases there are ways in which we can take that control back. And as I said, I will go over a lot of the things that can help in future videos. So you can watch my current videos on triggers that I put out. Again, it's called Therapies, and the other one is about herbal remedies. I will post the link below. If you have any questions or any concerns or anything in particular you want me to cover, just let me know. Thank you so much, and I hope this helps.